Welcome back, everybody, to week number 2. We've been having a great week 1, and I feel like almost everybody has gotten in their stuff from week 1, especially the introduction discussion board. And of course, that's really important to get in because when it comes time for initial attendance, if you have not submitted something to be graded, you will not be able to stay in the course. So there were 3 assignments last week. I know that seems like a lot, but the first one, of course, was just the introduction. The second one, you did have a startup scavenger hunt, and then the MLA review was maybe the hardest one. Wasn't meant to be, but it seems like it might have been the hardest one. And I'm going to give you guys feedback on those later this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about them this week, but mostly I want to focus on getting you started on week number 2 and seeing if there's anything that we need to cover for that specifically. So I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to take a look first at the syllabus. I think I mentioned this last week. If the concourse syllabus doesn't work unless I'm not in the student view. So I know there's a lot of extra stuff on the screen right now. Try to pay no attention to that, but we're going to focus on the schedule. So last week, as I mentioned, you had the 3 assignments. You will be getting feedback on all of those. This week is a very light week. So the pattern kind of follows this same pattern throughout the course, where we have at least 2, sometimes 3 weeks on the same module. So in week 2 and 3, we're going to be looking at the literature and other humanities focus on the slavery era. So this week you are going to be doing some reading and some exploring, and there is a quiz this week. I'll just be honest about it. The syllabus says to be on the lookout. I'm going to tell you it's there. Sometimes we will have a quiz, sometimes we won't, but it kind of helps. It's good incentive to get you reading. So oftentimes in the first week we'll have a quiz, and then in the second week, or the third in some cases, you will have your full official reading response or activity response. I don't like to call it a reading response because sometimes it's not readings, it's video or it's music or it's art, whatever. But anyway, your response, which essentially is like a journal or a chance to display all the things that you have been learning in your readings. So we'll talk more about how to put those together next week, because your first one isn't due until the end of week 3. But this week we will get started with the readings, and those will continue throughout this 2-week period. Okay, so that's kind of how you can expect the modules to work. So I'm going to go to the modules page, but I'm also going to turn on the student view. So this will be much more, this will look much more like when you see it. So on the modules, it also does designate which weeks we are in. So you'll notice that module 1 was only 1 week, and then module 2 is weeks 2 and 3, module 3, weeks 4 and 5, etc., etc. Each of them is set up the same way, so you should be familiar with this from last week, but our outcomes for Module 2 are going to be to discuss key figures in African American humanities during the period, in this case, African origins, can't talk this afternoon, and the slavery era. And then, of course, you are going to write a short essay. Now, you do not have to have any outside research for those reading journals. And so when I say essay, that's what I'm talking about. It's not a research paper. It is you and the sources that we are using for the class. So you are going to use quotes and paraphrases and summaries, and you're going to cite those sources, but it is not a research paper in the sense of doing extra research. Now, we will do those, but the reading journal activity journals are not that. They are an essay form, but they are just you at the stuff that we've been doing for class. So if you want, you can always go back to the module, or you can just click next The next page is going to be your resources and the assignments. So this is everything that you need to read and do, look at, read, do, etc. for the next 2 weeks. So there's a lecture on the slavery era, and there is a full transcript for that as well. You have some reading assignments this week, and this is the first time we're going to be using the Patton book. Now, I mentioned the Patton book last week. We do have access to it through the library. And I'm going to go ahead and click on it and show you what happens. This is going to give us, this is what I was afraid of. I was a little bit worried that maybe the library stuff had changed. So I'm going to update it while we're doing it. So let me go ahead and go to the library and see if we can locate it. And I will fix this while you're watching. All right, so this is the full information about the textbook of the book is on the homepage. So down at the bottom, this is African American Art by Sharon Patton. So we're going to search. I'm just going to use Primo search. Patton, Sharon. Make sure we still own it first. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we do have it. It is still available as an ebook. And in fact, we have more than one copy of it. So that's kind of nice. To open the book, you just click on the link there. I am going to copy this because we're going to need that to fix everything. And it is available in full text either through EBSCOhost or ebooks. I'm going to use this second link. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You will need to sign in if you're not already signed in. And then in order to view the book, you just click on the PDF full text over here. Your first reading assignment is, where were we just at? I'm going to click on this. I'm going to turn off the student view so I can fix it. But all right, so in resources and assignments, I'm going to put the permalink here. And I'm not going to do all of these tonight, but I will do all of them eventually. And I am going to write myself a note for that. I did also put a link to the library itself. So if you do ever have problems, do contact the library directly. They are amazing people, and they can certainly help you. But I'm going to update all of those for coming up modules. Okay, here, got myself a note. Once you get to a certain age, young people, if you don't write it down, you will forget usually within 15 minutes. It's crazy. But anyway, so you should be able to click on that now. You will have to log in still, but here's the link to the library information. So you are going to read chapter 1, which is pages 19 through 50. And as you can see, when you go to that book, where did it go? There it is. When you go to the PDF full text, I don't know why my computer's taking so long, but we'll let it happen. And anyway, I don't know. My computer is very slow tonight, so I'm going to stop it. But when you are looking at an ebook, it is very easy to navigate because you can search for things. So there will be a table of contents. You can click directly on chapter 1 and that sort of thing. So you'll be using that ebook a lot. So keep that in mind. It is right there for you. Let me save this so that we have updated that link. All right. So little side note there. But anyway, Readings and literature. There are some additional things here. These are links that I can check really quickly. There's a link to the poetry of Phyllis Wheatley. I would like you to read chapters 1 through 4 in Oladao Equiano's. Oh, that's another link. Doggone it. Oh, the library. This is all related to the state of Florida and the state college system. The library switched over catalogs. I think it was early last year. And of course, we only run this in the summertime. So I'm going to change those tonight. I will change everything in this module tonight and make sure that it's working. But you should be able to just click on things, and many of them are to websites. So those are all luckily still working, it looks like. There are a couple of things that were outdated that I did already update. So this video was an older link originally, but this is should be an active link. So take some time, look at all the materials. You don't have to finish it all this week. It is something that you have until next week to finish, but you are going to do your reading quiz first. So you do want to have at least a few things read before you tackle that quiz. That quiz is due at the end of this week, and then the reading and activity response is due at the end of the next week, which, while I'm thinking about it, and before I close this down, I'm going to move these things around anyway. So let me move this above it so that they are in the right order. And this is the to-do list. This will take you back to the home page where all the dates are listed. So I'm going to save this for right now and go take you to the home page to see that. Anytime you need to know for sure the due dates, they are listed over here. So this has more than just your assignments in it. You'll notice these are announcements, links to the announcements in case you didn't see them. Once you've read the announcement, you can click on the X's and close those, but this will also let you read them. Of course, they're also at the top of the page, but we can close those down. These two are the ones that, these three are the ones that were due this week. So let's assume that we have turned those in. And so then you would have your next assignment, your reading quiz. This is the one that's due next Monday or next Sunday night. Sorry, this coming Sunday night. All right. And then you don't have another assignment until May 28th. So that's why it links you back to the to-do list. So that's your only thing you have to do this week. Do some reading, do some video watching, and take the quiz. All right. And if you run into any problems or any questions, like I said, I'm going to spend some time tonight making sure that the links in the current modules are correct. And then if I'm going to have to do some for the later ones as well. But anyway, I'll get the ones for this module done so that they are ready in the morning when you are starting this module. All right. I hope everyone's having a great week. I hope you have a fantastic week too, and feel free to reach out if you've got questions. I am available, and I look forward to chatting with you. I will for sure see you next Monday if I do not see you or chat with you in between then. We'll be back for more. All right, everybody take care and have a great week.